Stillness in abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. Stillness in abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. Stillness in abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. I want to start out with a salutation to all who have died and rose yourself back up while you're still alive. Birth, growth, death, and rebirth. Salute to all those who have died and rose yourself back up and your Christ conscious while you still alive. Because you ain't gotta wait till you leave here to figure out what you could have did while you were still here. I say that because if you don't want to go back down there, don't be willing. And I mean, don't be willing to fuck up your peace for nobody at all. And I mean, nobody at all. That's going to be very important. Because for those of us who are doing the work to open up our own Akashic records, it's not by accident. And neither are you. I'm not here by accident, and I am not an accident. So, I'm not common or easy to come by. Some of y'all gonna resonate with that, and some of y'all may be playing with it in your head. That's okay. But to those of us that thought we was common or easy to come by, they figured it out right now. So if you was led here, make sure that whatever you learn here work for you. Make it work for you. Make it make sense for you. Because I'm only here for who can go. Everybody can't go. And everybody ain't gonna make it. That appear in my journey or yours. See, one thing that I have learned since I returned back to do this again in this journey called life, or one thing I could say that life has revealed to me, is that when you walking with God, when you walking in God, through the walk within yourself, most people gonna feel slighted by it because they haven't reached that point within themselves, because they haven't established that connection, or they haven't made the connection between the human they are or the human that they see themselves to be and the divinity that they are. I say that because that was enough for me to know I was on to something. It also was the spark that I needed to give me the strength to stick to my script. Because you can't heal in the same place or the same places that made you sick. So life showed me how to move around. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. In that sense, I'm like a lunar eclipse in the way that I do what I do when I'm doing it. Meaning, I have a way, by the work that I have did on myself, of activating what our soul already know, but our common sense rationalize with it. So I bring up everything that we covered up and give us an opportunity to deal with it. So if you here, whether you knew it or not, that's what you're here for. That's what led you here, you know? So we could deal with some things once and for all. Because I am one for all for one. And if we here to learn, correct? We are here to learn, correct? So if we here to learn, it's going to be about accountability. Accountability. It's going to be about accountability. And being about accountability is recognizing when it's the time to grow up, and when it's time to be grown about it. Whatever we got to be grown about. You hear me? So if you don't want to go back down there, I'm glad to say this again. Don't be willing to fuck up your peace for nobody. Now, those of us who have established the peace that I'm talking about within ourselves, and we don't have to seek it nowhere else, you know the importance of what I'm saying. Those who are stepping into that, it's resonating with you what I'm saying. And those of you who come along and it's not quite making sense yet, just keep coming back and it'll make sense. I say that because it ain't gonna always make sense when it's being brought to you, you know? I ain't always been who y'all see, you know? I ain't always been who I see. 8 years ago, I'm glad to share this. 8 years ago, just 8 years ago. 8 years ain't been a long time, but I'm gonna show you how much transition and transformation I have made. 8 years ago, I was a brother who had brothers ready to die by them and die for them. Today, I'm a brother who got brothers ready to live for me. And I gave them, and through the work that I've done on myself, gave them something to live about. Now, that ain't nothing to brag about. It's just the truth. I say that because that's the power of change. That's the power of change. And we may have heard the term, our people perish for the lack of knowledge. And in my common sense mind, in my grown up mind, in the way that I sift things up, I realize that people don't perish for the lack of knowledge. People perish for not applying whatever knowledge that they do have. So you ain't gotta know, you ain't gotta know what I know to get where I'm going. But everybody ain't gonna go. Everybody can go. So I say that to say, you can't want knowledge yourself without wanting pain. And a lot of people don't want to go through nothing to get to what they desire, what they want. But you can't have knowledge yourself without wanting pain. Not that you gotta want the pain. Pain just come with knowledge itself. And anybody who have got on the path of knowledge itself knows exactly what I'm talking about. It just come with it, you know. And if you don't believe me, ask anybody who got it. You hear me? Not only can you ask anybody who got it, you can ask anybody who got it and heal because of it. You hear me? It take a lot of pain. Take a lot of pain. And I'm not talking about them bootleg people that preach healing and still in toxicity. I'm talking about the people who practice what they preach, who live what they speak. See, man, at a time when the world was a distraction, how the world can be a distraction when we on the journey to self-discovery. I wanted to know myself during that time. A time when everyone around me was caught in the illusion, was compromised by the illusion, was compromised by the projections of who we supposed to be as an individual. Some of us have fought all of our lives to protect our mind. to protect our individuality, to protect our authenticity. I know what that's like. You know, to perfect our love and lift our life up through all the hate, through all the opposition. Because on the other side of love is hate, so I ain't have no other word. But I'm here for that reason. And I'm only here for who could go. So you're going to have to make your mind up. And in the process, we're going to have to prune off all the dead stuff. Because you can't heal in the same places that's making you sick. If that space hasn't been transformed, hasn't been purified, hasn't been transmuted. See, we can't have no more, we can't have nothing to give a problem. We can't have nothing else to give a problem. Knowledge itself can't come without pain. But who in their proper mind want to go in pain for the sake of waking up? But that's what's required. And that's what's needed for us to do the necessary shadow work, or continue to dwell in it. Because we see how people being robotized. We see how we actually are witnesses of people actually being made into androids, being robotized. People in survival mode. It's only a few humans left. Just a few of us. You hear me? So we need a moral code. Because you gotta have a moral code to be human. You hear me? People being desensitized by what's going on in us, around us, so forth and so on. So we really need to have a moral code and be paying attention. Where there's hope, there's healing. Some gonna have it in their heart. Some gonna have it in their hands. Some gonna have it in their energetic field. Some gonna have it in their voice. Some gonna personify it vibrationally. Where there's hope, there's healing. And those who healing inspire hope. So I hope I inspire somebody today, because I'm only here for who could go. You hear me? And we're gonna put a pin. We're gonna put a pin in the comment section for the raffle at the end of the month. We're gonna put a pin. Don't have nothing to give a problem, family. We're here to learn, and that's accountability. So it's time to be grown about it. Thanks for the likes, thanks for the unlikes, thanks for the shares. I appreciate y'all who share the message. Keep us building in the algorithm. I see the new subscribers. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for the donations. Thank you again for you who have been donating. I appreciate y'all. And I do put it back into the community. That's why I do raffles and stuff like that. So those who donate, I appreciate the donations. I can't say that enough. I appreciate your love offerings. And any of you who support me in any kind of way, sow seeds of support into my life, I appreciate it. For the seeds that you recognize me dropping in yours, I appreciate it. I can't say that enough. I love y'all, family. Saiwood.